How is everybody doing? It is time for Look Around the Confederation. I'm your host, RERUN Moose, and before we get started, please remember the views and opinions expressed in this broadcast are not necessarily the views and opinions of the SCV, it's GEC, Northern Division Brigade Camp Service subsidiaries. How is everybody doing in Dixieland tonight? We kind of have a laid-back episode for y'all today. Not too much news was kind of sent in, so we kind of have a freebie, if you will. The possibilities are endless. If you don't know who I am, I'm Moose. That is Audrey, and you are on Look Around the Confederation. If you are on our Facebook, if you could please share this out. Today kind of got away from me, so I didn't get to promote like I normally did. It seems like the older I get, the more days I have like that. But it is good to see everybody. Good to see. Ryan, good to see you from Camp 1824. Good to see you. Jason Lloyd, good to see you. Al from Camp 155. David, past Commander-in-Chief, the Lone Ranger, Chuck McMichael, on YouTube and Facebook. Andrew Luck, Lou Alley, past Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshears, the T-Rex, Dennis Draper, Andrew Luck, Robert Corbin, Derek Glover from Camp 929. Good to see everybody. Let's oh, we can put comments up now. That's nice. How does that even look? Let's figure out before I... Hey, look at that. We can have comments up now. That's a bit weird. Let's mute that and let's pull up YouTube and just... Oh, okay, yeah. That's weird. I don't know if I'm going to do that. But it is good to see everybody. Yes, please, if you're on YouTube, hit us the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe, leave a comment. Kind of same thing as on Facebook. That camera is close tonight. Like, comment, share. Make sure to share this out. We will just kind of have a bit of a relaxed night tonight. I really don't know. We should think of some topics to talk about for a bit while we kill some time before I go into the news. Let's come on. Let's think of something together. Let's think of something good. I can talk on most any topic. Now, if I'm knowledgeable is a question of itself. But why not? Let's have a good time. Let's see here. I'm getting blown up. Let me make sure. All right. Got any secession, Andrew? We usually have a big episode on secession at least once a year. But actually, there is an episode that we reran in April. And what's the name of it? Let me pull up our YouTube. The best way to experience our episode library is going to be on YouTube, by the way. Let me just do a quick run through. It's a Carl Jones episode. Where are you, Carl? Okay. I'm not seeing the Carl. Where's the Carl Jones at? All right, the cause, what the South really fought to defend, is a good one. And I don't know if we talked on that one about secession. There's a lot of episodes we have done on secession. You can really look at almost a lot of our library, and we have a lot of good episodes on secession. Yes, There will be a moose hunt. The proceeds will go to the General Forrest statue. For those who don't know, General Forrest is my namesake, along with my father's namesake and my grandfather's namesake. So I agreed to do the moose hunt 2 more times, with this being one of them, and it'll be for General Forrest. And I might as well do one moose run hunt for chat. So y'all at least have 2 more years to experience the moose hunt. That will not become an annual thing at Reunion at all. We got the Candy Twins on YouTube. Hello from Louisiana. Let's see here. What else? I will have to go back and check the live stream. So I work a night shift, by the way, for those who don't know, as a caretaker. And so this Monday's episode ran a bit longer than it was planned, a lot longer than it was planned. So I had to leave and go to work. So I haven't even had a chance to go check. 1 second. Let me block that spammer. So I haven't had a chance to even check the stuff. But I do know the last question was a bit of a joke, from what I've been told. So if that's the case, let's see here. I think we still have a tie. I don't. That's fine, Andrew. We'll figure something out. Let's see here. So as of now, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4-way tie. So the tie for first place is David, Jason Lloyd, Daniel Brooks, and Adam Medlin. Y'all all tied for first. So normally we would kind of have a tiebreaker and kind of go until we have a clear first, second, and third. But we just didn't do it this time. Okay, David officially withdraws, so there is just a 3-way tie. So y'all 3 are the winners, technically. So Jason Lloyd, Daniel Brooks, and Adam Medlin, y'all are in a 3-way tie for first. Yes, any episode with Carl is a great episode. See here. Be very quiet. We're hunting moose. Yeah. Do you know that I was gonna make a joke, but I just what really started the war? Oh gosh, Andrew. That's an episode in itself. The war between the states is very complicated on that matter. Years of frustration, years of what the government is now, what they were kind of trying to start back then. Is a lot. And I want to make it clear, I'm an expert on technology. I'm still studying to be a historian. I don't feel like I've earned that title yet. I feel like historian is an honor just to have the title. And the awards historian gets are even, of course, the higher honors. What I'm good at right now is this, what you're seeing in front of you, making these shows, getting the shows out there, making videos, promotion. I know social media advertising decently well. I know how to make websites. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. That's kind of my expertise at the moment. I understand social media, but I'm not the person right now that's going to get up and debate. I'm the first person to tell you that. Do I want to get there? Yes, but I need about a decade more of knowledge, or at least 4 more years of study, and I mean independent study, and getting help from respected historians on how to debate, how to do this, how to do that. That's just my own personal belief about myself. That's why I never really wanted a leadership role in the SCV. I was good with being a worker, and I somehow still got them. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back. I really didn't want them. For all of my elected positions, I've voted against myself simply because I hold positions to a very high standard. I'm a perfectionist, and I'm just not there yet. But what really started the war, to get back to your question, Andrew, a lot of stuff. A lot of better people can answer that than me. And we actually have a couple episodes. We have an episode called From Dr. Mitchum, The War Wasn't About Slavery, where we kind of tie into a lot of the alternatives. Brian McClanahan from the Abbeville Institute, the Kennedy twins, Michael C. Hardy. Those are some of, and let me rephrase that. Let me put the Kennedy twins in their own category. The Kennedy twins are propagandists, and they'd be the first ones to tell you. They've actually even said that on the show. And that's a good thing. They kind of dive more into here's the history and here's how to use it, which is a good thing to also learn. And that's why I also try to get a lot of the Kennedy books. Brian McClanahan from the Abbeville Institute is kind of like, here's all the information that you should know as a historian type of deal. And you kind of have to figure out your own way of how to add that to a debate. As I will always say, I'm very much into learning how to debate, how to lead, how to do this, how to do that. I would like to say I'm very humble. Obviously, sometimes I'm not. That kind of creeps up on everybody, I think. But I enjoy learning how to do positions. I like so it's one of my favorite departments in the SCV to work for and to brainstorm for right now is heritage operations. I'm having a blast doing that on the Mississippi Division level and the national level for that matter, and trying to think of new ways to promote heritage, as that's both my titles. An honor I was fearing was coming as camp commander is one of those. That's going to be more of a learning on the job. It's going to be impossible to fill in the shoes left by my dad. I'm just going to have to be my own type of leader with that, which comes with pros and cons. 5th Brigade commander was, I didn't want to be 5th Brigade commander. I told everybody I didn't want to be 5th Brigade commander. I was going to run for councilman again. And the 5th Brigade commander, and he'll tell you this, he might be watching, asked me to run. And I just said, well, if you're not going to, yes, sir, I will. And that's kind of how I get into my own situations. Brian McClanahan does have his own podcasts, and they're so full of knowledge. You almost want to sit down and have a notepad to write down the information because they're phenomenal. I would highly recommend, I think, Dr. Mitchum, Michael C. Hardy, and I'm going to leave out a couple people, and I understand that. But, and Brian McClanahan and Carl Jones. Carl will hate me for saying this, but I think those are some of the most expert people I know right now with knowledge on the war and what you should start with. And I'm going to leave people out, and I don't mean to. I have an awful memory, and I don't have my list in front. I have a list of historians I like to learn from. Brian McClanahan is just phenomenal. The Abbeville Institute is a remarkable resource. I honestly think we need to make sure we do more of. Make sure we get every ounce of knowledge. They just released a documentary that was phenomenal work. Phenomenal work. I mean, just that documentary was A grade. It's about really the founding of America and our cultures. And yeah, no, Al's right. If you're not watching, listening, or reading Brian McClanahan's work, you are missing out. I honestly believe he's at least should be in the conversation of the top 5 historians today for the South, if not the top 3. Just being brutally honest, to me anyway. We all have our own different opinions, but the work I've seen him produce is bar none, and his dedication to making sure that truth is getting out there is crazy. I don't know when the man sleeps, when the man does anything else. He is completely dedicated to education and the education of the Southland, and making sure the South doesn't lose its history with the way academic historians have fallen apart. Oh yeah, Michael C. Hardy. I don't know if I have to even put into words how good he is. We've brought him on the show multiple times. I love Mr. Hardy. Always happy to have him on. Same with Dr. Mitchum. Those two. I just got off the phone with Dr. Mitchum a couple of days ago. Talked for like an hour, and it's just diving into stuff. And he also knows I regard myself as a historian in training, so he also provides a lot of knowledge, and he gave me something that I think I'll share with everybody when it comes to becoming a historian, academic or self-taught. He said that the cliche line is experience is the best form of education, and Dr. Mitchum's line is experienced teachers, good teachers, are better than experienced teaching. So that's why I try to change who I listen to, who I read on a constant basis to learn from everybody. It can kind of be hard because if you can't tell, I'm also a huge Brian McClanahan fan. When he was at the Alabama Education Conference, I geeked out over a photo and had him sign books. And I'm a geek art. I'm not ashamed of that fact. I'm a history nerd, and sometimes when you're at these SEV events and I'm working for Chad or I'm working in a position, I'm a blow and go type of guy. So I never really get to stop and enjoy a lot of events. So it was great to actually sit back and be like, and breathe in the lessons that was taught. Thank you, Victor. That's very kind words. I'm just honestly, I'm hard on myself when it comes to positions, simply because I always feel like I could do something better. Like I honestly thought about doing adjutant and camp commander at the same time, and that's not because the guy who replaced me, he's family, he's going to do a great job. He had the position, knows the position, did it years before I was born, and has helped the camp. But, I felt like I could continue to do a better job and felt like I needed to do a better job. And that's kind of an obsession of mine. I don't want to let go of an office or a job until I feel like I've perfected it. And even when I perfect it, I figure out something I feel like I did wrong. And so it's an endless cycle. I'm very hard on myself as a historian, and I don't want to say leader because I'm not a leader in this movement. I'm just a nice worker. But for lack of a better word, one of the very, 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 very small leaders. I'm very hard on myself in those positions because this organization, this heritage is extremely important to me. And I always want to do the best I can. But it's all a learning experience. A nice plug there, Victor. Really good plug. I like that. I saw a lot of comments I wanted to talk about. We have our Commander-in-Chief, Walter D. Donnie Kennedy chat. At first you don't succeed, try again. And I love having these conversations with y'all. Yes, Lincoln's invasion is technically the start of the war, but I also add all the stuff that happened before that. I mean, that goes back decades. Learn to debate from a trial attorney. Learn history by living it and becomes part of you. I agree with Jason Boshears on that. I would love to learn how to debate from a trial attorney, and then already have that history knowledge. Because again, I do like debates. The reason you don't see me star into them is just not being ready yet. In my knowledge, because I was always a casual history lover. I had a complete understanding of basic stuff. Luckily, because of my father. If not for him, I probably wouldn't have anything. But deeper understanding for debate is needed. You can't just go in with common. But yes, great advice by our past Commander-in-Chief, Jason Boshears. I love some of the quotes from Victor tonight. They're pretty funny. The war was started when Yankees insulted Southern moms cooking by saying sweet tea had too much sugar. Let's see here. Do you demand a recount? Sorry. I'm not going through that episode again and having to redo it all. Okay. Pecan pie, ice cream or no? Both. There'll be times where I just want to enjoy pecan pie, and there's other times where I want ice cream. But usually ice cream has to be provided, and it has to be vanilla. Anything else, and I won't accept it. Ray, have you got any decent books lately? No, sadly, I've kind of fallen back on the reading department and buying new books. I just haven't had the time. I mean, I blow and go a lot. I had something, but I can't remember the title. I bought books. I just haven't read them, and I can't remember the title. I would have to check that out. There are tactics to debating beyond just having knowledge, just like I would say in leadership. And that's why I like being trained or brought up in different leadership styles from everybody. I've been under Jason, Connor, Larry, Donnie. I mean, I've had all these leadership strategies, if you will. And my father, for sure, as camp commander and as my brigade councilman and soon to be division commander. It is all very much there are tactics beyond it. Completely true by past Commander-in-Chief Chuck McMichael. The important key is, always being open to learning and always not going in with confidence. Prepare. I'm saying that like I've done debates before. Debates are an art similar to war. There are wars of words and logic, knowing facts and separating them from emotion. The Ken Twins books are good to serve and vilely for debate. Correct. I love the Kennedy books for that reason. They're great for debates. They have the information right there. Other historians kind of want to make sure you're learning, while the Kennedy twins are more aligned, giving you information. That's why they say they're propagandists and not historians, which I think they're honestly a combination of the two. Simply because it takes a historian to gather all this knowledge and present it, but it also takes someone with strategic mindset to play it how they have done it. That's why I try to get all the Kennedy books I can get when I have the money, simply because they are great to that. And I will even say the cultural cleansing that is going on, what I've called a culture war, a cold civil war, whatever terms I've used, is going to be very similar to a war, but it's going to be a war of words, logic, and money. And I mean, that's just the thing. And getting people of power back on our side, the debate is going to become a very interesting battlefield, as well as social media. I think we'll have another attack in a couple years. And so I'm just seeing kind of what is going to be the preferred battlefield of our enemy. Not preferred, but the battlefield they probably choose, because I don't even want to say that, but because they're that lucky. And so I'm trying to make sure I understand them from the aspect of being able to think like them. Learn how to learn from your enemies. Understanding their ideas will make it easy to defeat them. 100% correct here. I agree with this, and that's kind of what I was saying. I didn't see your comment. I wasn't trying to steal your thunder, Commander, but kind of like we did a couple episodes ago with going through one of our enemies' playbooks, how to attack us. They want us to do certain things, so you have to avoid doing certain things. They want us to look a certain way, so sometimes you have to avoid looking a certain way. They want, as soon as we make a mistake, because I hate to say it, but as of now, in my opinion, we are 100% still on the defensive. So they have the edge in that regard. Anything we do will be heavily scrutinized because of that. And so you have to pick every play as if it was a battlefield, and you're a statistician looking at how this battle should be unfolding. You have to think 10 moves ahead, and getting inside their mind and understanding their ideas, understanding their crazy emotions and how it guides them, because they don't use facts. They use their emotions. So get in their mind and understand their emotions, what the emotions will do, how it will kind of swing them. What's more likely what they're going to do, the angrier and angrier they get. What do they want us to do? What do they want us to fail to do? What are they begging for us to do? And some people, for them, that's a hard pill to swallow, because we have been so protected in the Southland and so blessed that for a long time we were able to honor our heritage and celebrate our heritage with this kind of compromise where the rest of the Union was like, look, y'all can do whatever you want as long as you kind of help out. And so I think that's kind of spoiled us, if that makes sense, because I know a lot of people, and again, not talking bad about anybody, but they want to attack via a mindset that we're on the offensive. And the truth is we're not. We do offensive attacks, but being clear on the defense, on the offense, we are not. We do a lot of great attacks that are offensive. Again, trying to stress that point, but I think overall we're still on the defensive. I mean, we can't even get into a room without being labeled as just this hate group, and that's something we have to get off us if we want to be able to continue this fight. And we need to get off of it quickly. And something that Commander Kendi said is a perfect thing. Our camps must get out the message to the public. We have to get it out to the public. If we just stay with what we've done for the past 125 years as the SCV, we're going to lose. And that's a hard truth that not a lot of people want to swallow. I've had people cuss me out that are dear friends. And I hold nothing against them. They felt like I was insulting their honor, and I honestly wasn't. I was just telling them from a Gen Z's point of view, and someone who has been in the mind at Ole Miss of our enemy and how they think and what they want to accomplish, and seeing what happened at Ole Miss, seeing their plan come to almost complete fruition. And no one has batted an eye. It's kind of the same thing that's happening here. Take what happened at Ole Miss and how they planned the destruction of our heritage at Ole Miss and apply it to the whole South, because that's what's happened. And we have not necessarily just sat there and done nothing, because we've done a lot of things, but a lot of things that we've done, they've expected and almost wanted us to do. So this is a whole new game plan. This also, I've used the term, and I do want to write something about this, the second Reconstruction or the third Reconstruction. Someone said there was already been a second Reconstruction. So, but another Reconstruction we are in currently, and we have to realize that people have been so brainwashed that we are legit trying to take a heel, to use some battle slang here for you. We're trying to take a heel, and we need to make sure that we're not going every day after it rains to run up the hill and it turns into a mudslide. We're in a different age now. And I know that's hard to understand for some people by what I mean by that, but this battle is going to be digital. This battle is going to be in the public court of opinion, court cases sometimes, but not a lot, honestly. In the common education system, in the universal educational system, and we have to start reclaiming grounds in these territories if we even want to stand a chance, because in the political arena, we've also become isolated, and that's not good either. So, yes, I agree with Past Commander-in-Chief Chuck Michael saying that we're in a battle for what is truth, what is history, what is the South, what is America, what is the Union. We have experienced decades upon decades of slowly destroying what it means to be those things, where people have to understand it's not even about being proud to be a Confederate of Confederate heritage anymore. It's about being proud of being Southern heritage in general. People aren't proud of. And if you can't get people to be proud of being from the South, from their state, the identity of the South is almost dead as is on that. So we have to get back to that. Yeah, and Commander-in-Chief Jason, or Past Commander-in-Chief Jason Bosier is correct. The invaders were on our soil and put the Southland on the defense. Most generals considered a war of defense. Stonewall Jackson and Nathan Bedford Forrest's aggressive tactics were the exception, not the rule. Remember, Jefferson Davis said, we just wanted to be left alone. And the fun fact is, we want to be left alone. If California, that's a bad example because of the good men we had in California. But if New York wanted to destroy its own education system, fine. I don't care. But they're coming down here and destroying our education systems, turning our own people against us. That, and you can even say that we've been on the defensive since 1861. Everything we have fought for has been on the defensive. That we've had times of offense, yes, 100%. But we have continued to be on that defensive mindset. I've noticed a lot of camps, divisions, other subsidiaries have always had something happen, and they're playing catch up. And again, I'm not free of this happening either. I've done the same thing. But if we don't learn from those mistakes, we're doomed to repeat it. Same as history. And I mean, the history as a skill, as a profession, as a institute of truth is falling apart. They have completely destroyed what it means to be an academic historian, what it means to have a history degree, what it means to actually be a historian, academic or a freelance. They've destroyed all that. History is crumbling, and it is concerning how many other people have not noticed that. And this goes from all the way up till we get into school, all the way up to a PhD, the subject of history itself is crumbling, and not just for us, but all American history, heck, world history. And it's an alarming thing where we are going to lose history to personal opinion pieces. But yeah, I will agree. We have, I think that defensive mindset has continued. I know I'm going to offend some people tonight. That's not my prerogative. I'm just kind of telling you how I see things. And the truth is, we kind of have been on the defensive. And if we don't learn the new 21st century battlefield, battle plans, strategy, what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say, how to combat certain things, if we don't learn that, we're in trouble. Plain and simple. We have to figure out how to fight in this new age, and that goes for everybody. There are some people that have a brilliant mindset. I will always say that Carl Jones is one of the greatest strategic minds today. You talk to Carl for a bit, and you're like, "Holy crap! Yeah, that's a great idea." And Commander-in-Chief Kennedy also put this out there. In August, SCV will begin more vigorous pro-Confederate public outreach. This is made possible by the efforts of our members, who, especially those who have, are now joining 21st Century Confederate Heroes effort. Yeah, and we need that. Commander Kennedy's 100% right. And in my mind, August can't come quick enough. I'm happy to see that we are adapting in some regions. We just need to adapt in all of them. And I mean that from the bottom to the top. Everybody has room for improvement. We here at SCV Chat have room to improvement. Everybody does. Jason has room for improvement. And yeah, we don't want these kind of things. Andrew Luck, even Davis stated he should have turned Forrest loose sooner. And that's correct. We don't need to be looking back in a couple of years being like, man, we should have jumped on this sooner. We should have done this sooner. We shouldn't have waited. We shouldn't have kicked the can down the road. We shouldn't have done this. We shouldn't have done that. Regrets are a natural part of life, of course. But when it comes to strategy and cultural warfare, a lot of mistakes can end up being more harmful in the long run. Modern day debates are logic and facts are against emotion. And I mean, that's the thing. They are running on emotion. So you kind of have to understand where that will lead them. Staying professional in a violent setting that they will put you in, more than likely, a hostile setting, will speak 1,000 words. But with that being said, you have to have someone out there that really knows how to do a debate, because sometimes you'll debate someone that knows nothing and you can easily wipe the floor with them. And sometimes they'll have someone that does honestly know a thing or two. Some of these people have made it their life's career and passion to distort history and play on people's emotions. So they can do that like it's a profession, because it is their profession. I've watched some of these historians on YouTube that we've debated before in the past. And if you didn't know common history, or if you didn't dive any deeper after high school, you could honestly easily be swayed to this man's thinking simply because of how good these people are. And that doesn't need to be downplayed. Our enemies might not be historically accurate, but they do know how to twist history to make it seem like they're historically accurate. And that, again, a lot of these battles in this new age are going to be in the court of public opinion. And if the public's believe in it, guess what? All of a sudden, we're the people that's not historically accurate. So it's a careful cycle. I was just messing with you, Jason. I wasn't being serious. Please don't make me feel bad, Jason. Again, there are things that I wish I had been able to do. I wish I had more free time to do. There's just so many things to do. Sometimes you just naturally can't do it all. And that's where recruiting comes in and retention heavily comes in. We need more soldiers. We need more people. We will always need paper members and people that enjoy being members of the SCV. But we also need to make sure that we get people with certain abilities, certain capabilities. And with that, we can slowly start doing something that I think it will take time to win. Something people also don't understand is this didn't happen overnight. It's not going to overturn overnight. This is going to be a year's battle. Like I project, we will either have won or lost this war by the 200th anniversary of the war between the states. We will either have been destroyed or we will either be the victor. So that is about 40 years. And 40 years sounds like a long time until you start breaking it up. And I truly, honestly think that's our timetable. I think we can hold out until then, but if we haven't improved, that's it. That's a sad truth. But here's the sad truth. Something I have feared every day since I started fighting and getting more involved in the SCV. I don't want to be one of the last SCV members. I don't. I want us to win. I want to help plan the 200th anniversary events. I don't want to have to be worried about the fact that, it seems like true Southerners are finally dying out. And that's what they want. And that's honestly what they're going for. Don't let them fool you. Don't think that there's a lighter option. This will be a long-term battle, but the rewards will be beneficial. The failures will be critical hits. It's the truth. I'm not trying to paint a dark picture. We, as a Southern people, have to continue, have to be on the offensive. Defensive is a part of strategy. We're going to be put on the defensive, and how we react on the defensive will dictate the next time we more than likely will get on the offensive. And with that being said, we have to start planning for the next 40 years of victories starting yesterday. We need to start planting the seeds as quickly as possible so we can see the fruit. And again, good to see. I still have Jason in the chat. Thank you for helping me out here, Jason. A victory we had in Tennessee took us 5 years. One battle that Jason has fought lasted 5 years. That's going to be every battle almost, folks. I hate to tell you, this is going to be a marathon and a half. This will not be a sprint. Sometimes we might have to be forced to run a sprint, but we don't want to. Trust me, this is all going to be a marathon. And luckily, we got a great victory. And I thank Jason. I thank everybody that had their hand in that. They went on the offensive. They probably went on the defensive. They probably did a lot of things. And now they had a victory today, and they can honestly hang their hat on it for the few couple minutes, God bless us, before the enemy counterattacks. And that's just culture war. Go look up what a culture war is. It is the battle for cultural identity. And that's what we're in. We're fighting for the right to identify our culture. And we do need to support each other. I can't put into words how important that is, because I've seen a lot of people get upset and not back something, not do this, not do that. I've had numerous disagreements with people in the SCV, but they wouldn't even know it if you told them, because I back everything and everyone 110%. Because I want them to be successful. If their idea is more successful than mine, I will go hug them, handshake them, give them a nice, good bottle of bourbon, and tell them they are the best around. But we have to support each other. That goes for events. That goes for us as members. Ideas you don't like. There is something for everybody to support. There's always a way to support. And this is going to make a lot of people mad because they feel like it's just national asking for more money. I'm going to go ahead and quote people. Well, I hate to tell you, just like our ancestors had to suffer because war is money, culture war is money. I hate to tell you, the best ammunition for rounds today, back in the day, it takes money to get rounds. Today, rounds are money. So now we're even having to put more in as the Southland. And that's going to irritate a lot of people. I know. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I'm really not on the mission. But we have to save up and put our money to good work. We have to donate money. Trust me, I get it. My account has been in the negative probably more than it's been in the positive. I get it. But I still try to give my all when it either comes to gas money or food or hotels or donations or what have you. T-shirts, hats, my SCV shirts, my camps stuff, donating it to them, my brigade, my division, national, army. I understand it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming, especially when you're sitting there and you're like, hey, I ain't made of money, man. This is hurt. Sadly, that's how this war is being fought. And our side that we're going up against has deep pockets because the government's backing them. Academic people are backing them. The lawyers, the doctors are backing them. And so they have the resources to hurt. The rich are backing them. And that's why we have to do the best we can to get more ammunition, which is money. It's just a dark, hard truth. And people are going to have to get over hearing that we are going to have money. Yeah, a house divided cannot stand. We need to be united. It's 100% true. Now, the original context for that can be talked about. But as an organization, as a membership, as a camps, a divided, we cannot stand. We are going to fall if we don't unite quickly. And I get it. The South is all about independent freedom. The South is all about if I'm not agreeing, let's secede. But, if we don't unite as an organization, we're not going to have anything to secede over because we won't be here. Everything is about money and power. If you have money, you have power. If you have power, you have money. Study the Old Testament. And the bad thing is we used to at least have the power part. I don't know if the SUV ever had the money part or the South ever had the money part since the war, considering we have been thrown in an economic depression that has lasted generations. But we used to at least have the power on our side. And with that came the money, heavy donations, stuff like that. We have to get that back. We used to have politicians. We used to have doctors, lawyers, from the poorest of poor to the highest of high. We used to have it all. I'm a farmer. Trust me. I ain't no doctor. I ain't no lawyer. I don't want to be. In my opinion, too much money is bad for you. I'm just here to work my farm, to do the things I like, and to protect my history. And that's what I feel like I've been put on this earth to do. And that's all I need. And I don't need a lot of money to do that. Yeah, and money and power. That's how we got into this situation. Just being honest tonight. Just being honest. We do have a bit of news I'm going to quickly dive into because I did not realize how long I had been ramming my gums. This has been a crazy episode. I don't even know if I should ask y'all to share this out. I feel like I've just been rambling. Hopefully you take something from it. Because again, all the things I've been saying, I do truly believe in. And maybe I don't say it to you because in person, because I'm trying to be nice. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Me and Jason have had a phenomenal apprentice and teacher role where he let me run a lot of ideas by him, and he would tell me, I think that would work. I don't think that'd work, but he would also tell me why. And Jason was talking about there was some stuff he needed to do when he was CIC, but let me tell you, that man has a brilliant mind on him for what this organization needs to do as well. I talked about Carl at the beginning of the episode, but Jason's also up there. Two men I highly respect, and am happy that the SCV has had their leadership. And I hope they continue to give it for years to come. Y'all are stuck in here. Suffer with the rest of us. All right. Let's get into some news. Camp 1460 presents the 28th Barton Vincent Lecture featuring guest speaker, historian, and author Derek Lindow. This will be on July 26th at the Graves County Public Library Community Room. The program begins at 6 p.m. Admission is free, and all are welcomed. Again, make sure to support these events. They're extremely important. Speaking of some important events, though, kind of biased, but the Mississippi Division is the owners and operators of Beauvoir, and Beauvoir is having the Jefferson Davis 217th birthday celebration. This year, we will have a Southern classic family movie at 12:30. Shirley Temple's The Littlest Rebel. Tickets, along with, will only add $2 to admission. That's a steal and a deal. And there will be dessert treats available as well as popcorn and snacks in the gift shop, and a living history volley at 2, where the Mississippi Rifles come to life to honor Jefferson Davis. And of course, you get to tour our beautiful mansion, our museum, our presidential library, and so much more. For more information, please go visit beauvoir.org. The Turner Asby Camp 1567 of the Sons of Confederate Veterans invite you to attend our 159th annual Confederate Memorial Day service. Golly, y'all been on a roll. Friday, June 6th, 2025 at 7 p.m. at Stonewall Cemetery in Winchester, Virginia. The speaker will be Mr. Stevie Ritchie, speaking on why the war came. Music will be by old-time songs of the South, and the Confederacy will be held rain or shine. Hey, Connor. What you doing? I see you. Please don't tell me you sent me something. I've been looking. I need to get through the news because I need to eat. I had a long day. But we're going to head over to Louisiana real quick. This is a picture of the members of Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp 1308 of Shreveport, Louisiana, attending the 2025 Louisiana Division Reunion. We're going to stick in Louisiana for the next couple stories, by the way. I see we have our National Chief of Staff, J.C. Hanna, in that picture, and Chuck McMichael, past Commander-in-Chief and the current Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman. Fun fact, I don't have it in the news, but our Chief of Staff, J.C. Hanna, won, I believe, the equivalent of the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Louisiana Division this past reunion, if I'm correct. Please, any Louisiana Division members, tell me. You going to research for this Monday? I will definitely try. When is... Oh, this weekend's Memorial Day. Yeah, I'm going to have to try to study for it Sunday, so just make sure I have everything you want to talk about sent to my phone, please. Conroe, I love you. Yes, so J.C. Hanna did win the Thomas Overton Moore Award, which is the equivalent of the Lifetime Achievement Award in the Louisiana Division. And I did want to congratulate Chief of Staff J.C. Hanna on his contributions to not only the SCV Louisiana Division, but the national SCV as a whole. Okay, thank you, Conroe. Just making sure. Next up in the great state of Louisiana is the members of the Lieutenant General Richard Taylor Camp 1308 of Shreveport, Louisiana. After attending the Louisiana Division Reunion, made a stop at Camp Moore, Confederate Cemetery, and Museum. I have been wanting to go to Camp Moore for years and have sadly not been able to yet. But that's a great topic. But Camp Moore is a phenomenal institute from what I've been told. And I really can't wait to go support it. I just have to get back to Louisiana one of these days. I have not been to Louisiana a while. I should go to the reenactment. I 100% should go to the reenactment. I know they have a phenomenal reenactment as well. So I cannot wait to hopefully one day go. Rounding off in Louisiana, at the 2025 Louisiana Division Reunion in Hammond, Louisiana, past Commander-in-Chief and Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman Chuck McMichael and Louisiana Division Commander Bobby Herring presents Charles Lee Ray with his 25-year membership medal. It looks like a lot of people hitting 25 this year, so I do want to say congratulations to past Army of Trans-Mississippi Councilman Charles Lee Ray. One of my favorite and sweetest people. Just the best, man. Charles is phenomenal. No, Connor, I will have to check it tomorrow. I forgot about something I have to do tomorrow, so I've been working all day to kind of make sure I can go do it tomorrow. So I had to work overtime today, so I have not. I've opened messages, but unless I needed to respond, I haven't. I do like Dad's new nickname. Phenomenal. It's much better than the previous one. If y'all could get rid of both of y'all previous nicknames, I would be much appreciative. Rubbing that in my face every single time we have to talk about an SCV event, a Beauvoir event, or any Confederate SCV event, or chat, considering how many times a week we text, doesn't get under my nerves at all. Well, you don't get to go. Bravo, Connor. That threw me off. That got me. Oh, that got me. That got me good. Egg nabbit. The Macy camp in Fayetteville, Tennessee, had a Confederate memorial service attended by the Tennessee Division of the SCV, the UDC, Tennessee Society, and the Black Rose of the Tennessee Order of the Confederate Rose. Seen in this picture is, of course, First Lieutenant Commander of the Tennessee Division, Mr. Rich Garcia. Addresses were given by Camp Commander James Patterson, Dr. Michael Bradley, Mississippi State Senator Joe Hasey, and music and entertainment was provided by Tater and Joe. A salute was provided by Tennessee. The Tennessee Honor Guard recruitment booth was staffed by the SCV camp there, too, for the members to talk to the public who showed interest. And here's a couple more pictures from that event. Right there. So, believe it or not, that is all the news. No barbecue for Moose. Oh, you have to stay in the truck when we stop at Buc-ee's. I'm not staying in the truck when we stop at Buc-ee's, especially if we end up taking my truck to National Reunion. We will not be I will not be staying in my own truck. I just got my new title for my truck, and they still have my name misspelled, so I'm going to have to go get it sent off again. Yes, great job to the Macy camp. Looks like they had a great turnout, and of course did a great job of the Honor Guard. And like something I never thought about was having a booth, not a recruitment booth per se, but a booth there for potential people who are interested in the SCV, UDC, OCR, so on and so on. Phenomenal thinking that I wish I would have been able to come up with, but you know, I'm great at stealing ideas. I'll do that all day, every day. All right, everybody. Sorry for the absolutely chaotic episode where we just dive off the deep end. And I was just wanting to kill 20 minutes, and it turned into a 45-minute conversation. But again, luckily there wasn't a lot of news tonight. Please send in news. This show runs on it, so the more you send, the better. Please note that we will only take a couple of pictures for each event, but if you're sending about multiple events, you can send more pictures. But with that being said, I do want to thank everybody for coming on tonight and ask that you share this episode out. Thank you, David. That means a lot. And like, comment, subscribe, follow, do the things. Make sure you tune in this Monday as we talk about Canada, and secession. It's going to be another phenomenal episode on current events I'm looking forward to and cannot wait to do. But with that being said, again, make sure to share and tune in to the Monday show at 7 p.m., same Confederate time, same Confederate channel. And make sure to send your pictures, short videos, and write-ups to scyouthoutreach@gmail.com, and you'll be featured on the upcoming episode of Look Around the Confederation. I have been your host for the evening, Moose, and I cannot thank y'all enough for joining me on this ride. Join our Patreon for $10 a month. You get to really help us out here at SCV Chat and get a lot of cool perks to go along with it. And, of course, our Patreon members are scrolling below. Thank y'all so much for all y'all do. And until next time, stay Southern, my friends. Good night.